Good morning, everyone. This is Teacher Joanna, and I will be your teacher in MAPE. Now, before we start our lesson, let us first have a review. What was our lesson last meeting? It was all about melodic direction. So, what are those melodic direction? We have the ascending, descending, and repeated. Now, before we start our lesson, let us first have these words. Are you ready? Okay, very good. So let's have everyone collection. Again, collection. Next we have imaginary. Again, imaginary. And then we have embody. Again, embody. And then we have orally. Again, orally. So the words are collection, imaginary, and embody, and orally. So again, collection, imaginary, embody, and orally. So do you know the meaning of the words? Okay, so let us know the meaning of the words. So everyone, when we say collection, this is a group of things or people. That is collection. Do you understand? Okay, so when we say imaginary, existing only in the imagination, that is imaginary. So when we say embody, be an expression of, give a tangible or visible form, that is embody. And when we say orally, by, with, or in the mouth, that is orally. So those are the meaning of the words. Now today, we are going to talk about story. Okay? So are you familiar with story? Okay, very good. So what is your favorite story? Okay. So that's your favorite story. So today we are going to talk about stories, okay? So everyone, books may be classified into fiction and non-fiction. So, books can be classified to what? To fiction and non-fiction. Now, I want you to know what is fiction and what is non-fiction. So, when we say fiction, a collection of imaginary, non-existing stories or events. What is fiction again? A collection of imaginary, non-existing stories or events. Meaning, these stories talks about people with power, animal with power. Okay, so the stories that is in our imagination only. This does not exist in the real world. Do you understand me? That is fiction. So when we say non-fiction, it is consist of actual events or true story. So the opposite of fiction is non-fiction. So if fiction is an imaginary non-existing stories, now non-fiction is an actual event or true stories. Do you understand me? So books are classified into two. What are those? Fiction and non-fiction. Now, when we say fiction, these are the stories that are non-existing or imaginary stories. Do you understand me? Well, the non-fiction are the actual event or true story. Do you understand? Okay, very good. Now, a good example of a fiction is fable. Okay, so what is a good example of fiction? A fable. So are you familiar with fable? Okay, so it is a brief story embodying a moral and introducing person, animals, or inanimate things as a speaker and actors. Now, a popular collection of fables are those created by Aesop, a Greek author during 620 to 560 BCE. So, who is Aesop? A popular author, a Greek author during 620 to 560 BCE. So Aesop's stories are called fable. So this is all about this is a brief story embodying a moral and introducing person and animals, inanimate things as speakers and actors. Now, I have here an example of Aesop's fable. Now, the ant and the grasshopper. Are you familiar of the story, the ant and the grasshopper? Now, do you want me to tell a story? Do you want me to tell you this story or this fable? Okay, very good. So sit up straight and listen to me. So I'm going to read it to you. The ant and the grasshopper, an Aesop fable. Now, in a field one summer day, a grasshopper was chirping, singing, and hopping about for fun. An ant passed by carrying an ear of corn back to his nest. "Why not come and chat with me?" said the grasshopper, "instead of doing all that work. I am helping to store food for the winter," said the ant, "and suggest you do the same." Okay, so why bother about winter, said the grasshopper. "We have got plenty of food at the moment." The ant went on its way and continued its work. When the winter came, the grasshopper had no food and was dying of hunger. The ant, however, had plenty of food to last all through the winter from his hard work in the summer. Then the grasshopper knew it is better to be it is best to be prepared, or it is better to be prepared. So the moral of the story is you have to be prepared always. Okay? This fable tells us that it is best to be prepared. So that is the story of the ant and the grasshopper. Okay, that is an Aesop fable. Now, as you can see, the speaker here and the actors are animals. So, who are the characters here? The ant and the grasshopper. So, also, the fables have morals. So, what is the moral of the story? It is best to be prepared. Okay, are you prepared always? Very good. Now, in relating a story orally or written form, elements such as title, setting, character, plot, events leading to the climax, conclusion, and moral lesson of the story should always be given. Now we have elements of the story. Those are the title, the setting, the character, the plot, the event, the climax, the conclusion, and the moral lesson. So we have 8 elements. Again, what are those? Title, setting, character, plot, events, climax, conclusion, and moral lesson. So again, everyone, what are the elements of the story? Very good. Title, setting, character, plot, events, climax, conclusion, and moral lesson. So those are the elements of the story. So we could also relate a story and express the prevailing emotions through drawing. As you can see, a story needs a drawing for its illustration or representation, just like what illustrators do. Some illustrate all the elements in the story, so others choose important incidents which happen, and still others just pick the most important one, which they think would help the readers have a glimpse of the highlight of the story. In every story, we should put drawings there. Okay, so drawings, either the illustrator draw all the things that happen in the story, or only the highlight for us to have a glimpse of the story. But in every story, there is always a drawing. Do you understand me? Okay. So, to prevail or express emotion. Okay? So, we express or prevail emotion through drawing. Do you understand? Okay, so I have here questions and let's answer these questions, everyone. What is fiction? So what is fiction? Fiction is what? A collection of imaginary and or non-existing stories. So again, what is fiction? A collection of imaginary or non-existing stories. Okay, so what is non-fiction? Okay, consists of actual events or true stories. So again, what is non-fiction? A story consists of actual events or true story. Now, what are the elements of the story? We have 8. We have the title, the setting, the character, the plot, the event, the climax, the conclusion, and the moral lesson. So again, what are those elements of the story? Title, setting, character, plot, events, climax, conclusion, and moral lesson. Okay, so what did you learn today? Today we have learned about stories. So stories can be fiction or non-fiction. When we say fiction, these are the stories that are imaginary or non-existing stories. While non-fiction are the stories that consist of actual events or true stories. Now we have 8 elements of the story. So what are those? The title, the setting, the character, the plot, the events, the climax, the conclusion, and the moral lesson. So if you really did understand the lesson, let us proceed to your practice exercise. So practice exercise, you're going to answer create letter A, page 157. And here is your evaluation. You're going to answer create letter B, page 157. Now, don't forget to answer your practice exercise and your evaluation because I will check it. Do you understand me? And here is your assignment. So, what are the elements of the story? So, don't forget to do your assignment. So, thank you for listening. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.